Hi ladies, hope you're alright. It's lovely and sunny again today. Right, I'm just coming on to show some more of the basic mini album construction. First, just like to apologise, it was pointed out to me that when I was busy telling you to all like check your measurements and not get confused, I'd actually got confused myself. These spines here are not 4.5 inches. But those of you that have got half a brain obviously worked that out. It's 4.5 centimetres. So in inches that would be like 1 and 3/4. So I do apologise, and then I did do a 1/4 inch score down the gusset. So yeah. Right, so when you come to mat these, underneath, obviously, where's my brown bag? You've just got brown, like this. Now, obviously you're going to want to put some paper on, because that's what you do with mini albums. Now I went out and I did buy some paper. I've got some lovely paper called Rose Garden, because I've decided that mine's going to be vintage. So this is a nice one. And I also did treat myself. I've been looking at it for weeks and weeks and weeks, umming and ahhing, and I did get this one. It's lovely, absolutely beautiful. I'd love to get the bigger size, but it's really quite expensive. I think this were about, I don't know, I can't remember how much this one was, but I just think these papers are really dear. I mean, they are beautiful, they're exquisite. I mean, that one's all glittery. And there's some lovely like framed ones, but they're expensive. Now I aren't using a full pack of paper on a mini album. So what I've done is I showed you the cheaper card that I got in the that you get in the bundles from the range for card making, and I've used that to do my what I call first stage matting. Because I think these paper bags need a bit of help to keep the pages stiff. But I don't want to use really expensive cardstock on every page. For one, I don't have any, and for two, you know, if you're on a bit of a budget, there's ways and means. There's more than one way to skin a cat, isn't there? So I've used the cheaper. It's quite thin. It's just one stage up from paper, really. It's £2.50. You get a big bundle, and it's fine for your first stage matting. So you measure your area of your paper bag, which is this inside bit, okay, and you cut your piece of card, and that's it. And I've stuck it on with score tape. I've used score tape for everything because I just find it easier, because when I'm placing things over with the score tape, what I do is I put it on in lines, across like that, my score tape, and I don't peel it all off. I'll line my paper up, say this is my paper. Okay, I'll line it up at the top, and I'll double check, and then I'll make sure it's all going, and then I just hold it down firmly, and then I just lift the top off, and then I peel off the first layer and then press it down, and then you know that the rest of the pieces are going to lay flat. Otherwise you end up with it cockeyed, and then it looks a mess. That's why I can't use HEGs on precise things like this that need to, you know, be right. They're really, really good tools, and I love using mine, and I use it a lot. But if I want something sticking down exact, I can't do it because I'm a bit cross-eyed anyway. That's probably why. So on the flaps that I showed you, I mean, I've used craft cards on mine that I explained in my first video. The 6x6s just go straight on the top, and I have used nice paper on there. And then I figured that these bits here, you know, you can get away with thinking of other things to use rather than just caking it in you know, this paper is lovely, but it is expensive. I don't want to use half a pad of paper on one mini album. I can't afford it. Well, I can afford it, I suppose, at a push, but I don't want to, because I like to do things in a way that saves money. So I have matted it all in the plain cream. I've done it there, look. and I've matted the flap as well. I'm just hoping that you can see, because I can't see what you can see. Let me just look at you. And again, I haven't stuck these flaps down yet because I haven't decided what I'm doing. This one I did stick the flaps down because it was the first one I did, and it was before I thought about what we're doing. And it is a mistake. Don't stick any of your flaps down till you know what you're doing. Right, so what I've done, I'll just show you the first from the beginning. So as I've discussed earlier, this is going to go on my front page. So this is a piece of paper from this Rose Garden collection, and it's one of the plainish ones, okay? And I've just distressed it, and then I've used some of the fancier paper there on the bottom bit, and then I've used a little bit of paper there on this tag. So it looks nice, and there's some fancy paper without having to use all of it. You know, these nice pieces. This is just die cut, one of the Nestability ones, and basically I'll do all of my tags from this, and then I've just distressed it and put some lettering, stamping on it, and a bit of ribbon. And you could do journaling on the back, and then you could photo mat there. I might do another few tags to go in there yet, I don't know. I'll show you that one in a minute. And then on the next page, I just did, to fancy these papers up a bit, I've used a corner stamp that I've got the other day. Where is it? It's just a tiny little corner like that. And so I used it with my embossing ink and stamped, and obviously, and then I used this Paper Mania Gold, sprinkled it on, set it with meat gun, and it just makes that paper a little bit more fancy, and again that's been distressed. And then these ones are more corners that I've got from a sticker pack. And then this is some of the fancy paper down the sides here. Now this bit here is just the plain cream card. I've distressed it, stamped it, and I've stuck bits of it, what do you call this? Some people, is it ephemera? I don't know the technical term. The stuff that I've printed off the internet, from Pinterest and stuff, free printables, there's loads. And I think this is off Madame Perrault range. I've just cut a little bit out of some scraps, and I've just glued it on with a glue stick. Nothing fancy. You could Mod Podge over the top of that if you wanted to, but I quite like how it's touchy-feely, and the glue stick, I'm not kidding, it's just a cheap one from Pound Shop, and it stuck it perfectly fine. And then I've just, after I've stuck them on, this one I did like scrunch it up in my hands, distressed it all with distress ink, straightened it out, stuck it on. Again, more script stamp over the top. There you go. And then on this one, and I've just distressed it, left the cream paper, put my fancy one there, distressed that. And then this is another stamp that I got in quite a cheap set, and I've just used my embossing ink and sprinkled gold powder over just to make it look nice. These are in the process. I'm going to use these vintage images. Again, you can get them off Pinterest free. Do not go and pay for vintage images, please don't. I know some ladies have told me that they've paid for them, and I'm shocked, because you can get these for free. And if you're struggling to get vintage images, go on my Pinterest, go to my About page, and there is a link to my Pinterest. And on my Pinterest board there is a board that says vintage images, and there's another one that says free printables. Don't be paying for none of them, okay, because it's just ridiculous. All they might have done when you buy them from firms is they might have, I don't know, digitally enhanced them or something. They're the same images, then you're paying for nothing. I mean, a lot of these photos you can get on Pinterest, they're part of our heritage, you know, and they're from all over the world, and they're free, so do not pay for them. I just print them out. I've got a packet full of them. I print some out on photo paper. This is just normal A4 paper, nothing fancy, and that'll glue down nicely with a glue stick. You could put glitter on it, you can distress it, you could put Mod Podge over the top to protect it, you could do what you want with it. Just use your imagination. And then these 3 tags are left over from, I bought some Madame Perrault cards a while back, so these are part of that. Cut them in half. I've just rounded the corners off with a little punch, and they'll just go in like that. And that's that page done. And all the fancy paper I've used is that strip there. Okay? And same here, all I've used there. And I'm in the middle of doing the tags for it. I've left a little spacer in here, so there is a little tag here, because the 2 pieces of card I just secured on 2 sides and left that side free. They're just little pieces of card. I've just rounded them off, distressed them, tied them together. They're just journaling. It's just, doesn't have to be anything like amazing, does it? They're just little bits to write on. The lady that gets it, she could put a photo there and then write in there what the photo's about. Now on this one, I have been punching with the circle punch. You just put it halfway and punch it, most people know that. And then inside this paper bag here, I have come up with this little tag here, which I think's lovely. Just move this out of the way and show you. You've just got to use your imagination. Again, I've just cut them with my die cut machine. If you don't have one, cut a square and just round the corners off. Or a rectangle and just round the corners off. You don't have to have a die cut machine. These are little wooden pegs. You can buy them in range. I think they're $1.50 for quite a lot. I distressed it with ink and put a little flower on. And then I've done 3 of these tags. I put a hole through them all and just tied a bit of ribbon round to make it look like it's a bundle. This is one of the images that I've printed on my printer. That's on, I don't know what that is that's stuck on there. Oh, it don't matter, it makes it look older. Printed it on photo paper, and I just rubbed some of the edge with scissors just to make it look a bit old. Distressed the edges again. This was here we go, this colour. So I've just used Vintage Photo. You can use all different kinds of distress inks and layer up your different colours, but I only have 3 colours, so I just use the same one and I just press on darker on the edges, and you know what I mean. Bit more of the script stamp, and then on the back there you could stick a photo or do some journaling, and I've just rubbed distress ink over it to make it look aged. What I thought I might do, another idea I've had, is to get some lined paper. I've got a small notebook upstairs with lined paper on, and I might try tea staining it. And if it works, then I will stick that on there so that it's got lines so that she can journal on it. So there you go. This one I've just used the Madame Perrault stamp, which is a postcard, and the corner stamps. And then I've just stamped some script in there to make it look like somebody's written on it. And then this little stamp here I fussy cut out of the Madame Perrault paper range and just glued it on with the glue stick, and I've left the back plain again for journaling, and they just had a bit of interest, don't they? And then this one is a saying one. It says, the role of a writer is not to say what we all can say, but what we are unable to say. It just adds a bit of interest. Again, script stamp, and again the back left pretty plain for journaling. And then I just put you know, you're just coming up with ideas to make things look a bit different. You can't buy that in shops, you know, because I've made it up, haven't I? You know, you've all got scraps of ribbon or scraps of lace, I'm sure. Get them out and stick them on. That's all you have to do. I'm just going to shut my door, Sarah. Can hear people coming in. Just shutting my door because I don't want distracting. Tie it with a little bow, and then I just put the peg on to make it easier to lift in and out of this pocket. And again, it just adds a bit of interest. So them's a couple of ideas for tags, and I've explained how I've got this one to do as well, but it's not finished yet. So I've still got a few pages to go. So that's all you have to do for your first stage matting, and then you just build up and build up, do what you want. Right? Okay ladies, that's it for now. And I'll be back when I've done some more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.